searched everywhere. I looked through hundreds of files, searched through my text messages. I even looked everywhere in my wardrobe, but I just couldn't find where I asked for your opinion.
Hey y'all! Welcome to another episode of Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, where I scour the internet and look for situations where I can offer my unsolicited opinion. So this episode comes from Dear Abby. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, kind stranger learns the meaning of no good deed goes unpunished. I've never even thought that was a reasonable saying, so this is going to be interesting. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, 4 months ago I noticed a lady walking down the street. She was older, and I could tell by her posture she was struggling. I offered to drive her so she didn't have to walk. It turned out that she was walking from a bus stop to a transit bus to catch it for work. She works in a different county than she lives in, so the first bus doesn't take her all the way. Long story short, I've been driving this, and I know exactly how this happens. I'm this kind of person. So I've been driving this lady to work from the bus stop every morning, picking her up from work and taking her home. Picking her up on the weekend days she works, and then transporting her to and from work. I don't work on the weekends. She lives about 10 miles from me. She has not once offered to pay for gas, which doesn't bother me. Then why'd you mention it? But she has recently started asking me for money. I've purchased coffees for her on several occasions and driven her to stores only to find out I'm paying for the purchase. I have picked her up, and without any warning, she said she needs to go to other places too. She doesn't have a car, doesn't earn a lot of money, etc. I think I need to stop driving her, but I know I'll feel guilty because she has no one to help her. How do I end this one-sided relationship? Miffed in Michigan. How do you end this one-sided relationship? So, when you met her, she was managing on her own, actually. But you thought that she needed help. And so you offered the help. And then she decided that the help she actually needed was help paying for things. And so she asked you to help in the regard that she needed the help. And that was too much for you. So I don't know if this is a no good deed goes unpunished situation. I mean, it sounds like you're being extremely helpful to this old lady. It sounds like she feels like you've adopted her as your nana, which in this sense, the nana is the one needing the help and not giving the help. So how do you end the one-sided relationship? Well, first of all, this is another boundary situation. This is another boundary situation. It seems like you don't know how to say no. It seems like it's reasonable for you to give her a ride to work the days that you're working, because that's already you going 10 miles out of your way, is what she says. Well, it's more than 10 miles because she lives 10 miles from you, and then you take her a county away from where you all live. So it seems like because you said you don't want to feel guilty. I know I'll feel guilty because she has no one to help her. Well, first of all, that is not true. She does have help. Right now, you are the help. But that doesn't mean that you're the only one that can be helping her. The entirety of the universe has the entirety of the universe at its disposal. So you, in this period of her life, was the help that the universe arranged for her. And good for her and good for you. But it sounds like you've reached your limit. Okay? And that's okay. That is okay. You are not here to save her. She doesn't need to be saved from anything. So what you can do is you can give her one last ride to work. And if you are capable of giving her a ride to work on the weekdays, then continue to do that. But what you really need to focus on is setting boundaries. Can you take her to work on the weekends? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Can you take her to the store? No, you cannot. Will you pay for this? No, I will not. Oh, can you take me here? No, I cannot. Just say no. Nope, can't do it. And end the conversation there. Oh, Qadriyyah, will you take me? I'm not taking you there. No, I agreed to take you to work and pick you up from work. And so that's what I'll do. Because that's what I wanted to help you do, even though she didn't ask you for it and you offered it. So I would say just set boundaries with her. And if not even if you can't set boundaries, because it's important for us all to set boundaries and not to feel guilty about them or feel any kind of way about them. So this is the universe giving you an opportunity to set boundaries about what you are willing to do, what you're not willing to do. And it's also an opportunity for you to know what you're willing to do. And if it bothers you that she doesn't give you gas money, that's fine. It's fine that you're bothered by that. But she was taking the bus. So, I mean, if she gives you her bus money, that's how much she's probably budgeted for transportation. But if you give her no more rides, then let's see. It doesn't say how long she's been doing this. But if you give her no more rides, if you don't meet up with her anymore, if you don't, do anything more for her, then what you have offered to her has been helpful. And older people benefit from walking and, being in public and obviously going to work. So that's her entire life happened before you met her. So however she ended up being an older woman with no vehicle working in another county, that had nothing to do with you. That's the way she set up her life. And she is living the life that she has designed. And maybe she asked the universe for a ride to work, and you appeared and you gave her a ride to work. And maybe she asked the universe to send her someone who will help her pay for things, and you ended up being that person. But if you don't want to be that person, you don't have to be that person. If all you want to do is give her a ride to work when it's convenient for you, that is perfectly reasonable. If you don't want to pay for her purchases, that is perfectly reasonable. If you don't want to take her multiple places, that is perfectly reasonable. All those things are reasonable. So how do you end this one-sided relationship? By setting boundaries. By setting boundaries. Hey, Eunice, I can give you a ride to work and I can pick you up from work, but that's all I can do. I can't take you to work on weekends. I can't take you to the grocery store. I can't buy things for you because that's not what I'm willing to do. So if you would like me to continue to take you to work on the days that I work, then we can continue to do that. If not, it was very good meeting you. I'm glad that I met you. I'm glad that we've spent the time we have with one another. And I wish you the best out here in life. And stand your square, right? If she gives you a sob story, you can listen to it and be like, yeah. So I'm willing to take you to work and bring you home from work on the days that I work. Other than that, Eunice, I'm not willing to do anything more than that, right? And this is good. This is good because it's good to express to the universe that you don't like doing more than you're willing to do. Because once you get into the habit of doing more than you're willing to do, you will keep finding situations where that will be the situation. Where you will start off willing to do this amount, and then it becomes this amount, right? So I don't know how old you are currently, but you're not as old as that lady. And it will benefit you greatly to learn how to set boundaries and maintain those boundaries so that you will not be an old lady walking from one bus stop to another transit stop with no vehicle and no one to help you because you didn't set boundaries the multiple times the universe gave you opportunities to set boundaries. Okay? Much success to us all.